2024.
I move we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay. Obviously, all in favor, so.
Aye.
I did want to note that Don is not here tonight, and he is down serving
Yep.
in the disaster area right now, so.
Yes.
So we certainly appreciate his service.
He sends his apologies. We
Yeah.
also had a meeting with the mayor coming up next week, which this is more, I mean, it's good he's doing this, so it's all okay.
Okay,
We'll catch
good.
up on everything else, yeah.
All right, thank you for the media for being here today. Reports, Hal?
Minutes, one thing I did not have. Back was talking about trees. I guess, I do have it down there. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I'm sorry, I wrote it in by hand. We'll start old business. Basically, two same things. We got the walk-in cremation 3. Mike Bradford has not got a hold of me yet to tell me when he is gonna start that, but I'm guessing this month sometime would be my guess, depending on how busy he is. Fall cleanup, it started. What does that mean? A lot of raking, a lot of picking up limbs, getting equipment ready. They're gonna come out next week and service a leaf sucker. We had a little trouble with the zero-turn collection system, the blower on it. Went bad on us, actually, both of them did. So one's been rebuilt, they're rebuilding the other one. That thing will run nonstop once leaf starts. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Like I say, most of our projects are done. So it's basically just getting ready for fall and winter is what we're doing now. So with that, we'll go into new, unless there's any questions on the fall cleanup. As you see new, we always list your foundations. We made the last poor correction there that she has 27. We picked up a couple more. We're got most of them framed. They need to bore yet. We're trying to let it go for a little while, trying to get the most in before to help these monument companies. A lot of people procrastinate. I'm one. They wait till the last minute and then want it in this year, so we're trying to get that done. 2 is you'll see the skylight. Most of you may not be aware, as you go down our little hallway in the office there was a skylight. It's been there. It's been leaking. I had it tore out and shingled across, so there's no more leaks there. Wood giveaway, which we talked a little bit about. We have some cut up, plenty more to do. That we just kind of, I think Ken and you both decided it was this month, so I don't predict any until it starts getting cooled down.
Until it gets cold.
No, we've had a couple ask about it, but nobody.
Yeah, we've got a couple called too, but nothing
Yeah,
major.
yeah, so we're ready, and like we talked about in the minutes of the last meeting, we moved that wood pin towards the back and cleaned up that area a little bit, so it's a little different spot to go. I'm gonna skip 4 for a minute, then we'll come back to that one. 5, as you see, we have a new full-time employee. One of my employees decided to go to the park department, not park department, I'm so sorry, street department. He was there one other time, wants to go back there. Braxton Wilson started with us last week. I don't know if you remember that name or not. He was with me prior. Left to live a dream. He wanted to be a police officer, made it through academy, and things just didn't work out. And it just happened to be timing. I was interviewing for the position, and he got a hold of me, and it just made sense to hire him back. He was already up to speed, knew how to do everything, and wanted to come back. Glad to have him. He didn't leave on bad terms. He left to go live a dream, so he did. So he's very happy to be back and get him all back in. And of course, it was nice to send him out digging already and stuff because I don't have to train, so it's kind of cool. So we're back to full staff. With that, I got a couple others. We did pick up 14 trees today. I got 4 crimson maples I'm picking up tomorrow to put in that he just got in today. And so we'll be planting those 18 trees at our facility. I think police wants some more, probably not this year. We'll probably do them next year. And then the big thing, which we'll talk about later on, but I want to make you aware of, I have went through our pricing and made adjustments to go up first of the year, and currently it's in the mayor's hands for yay, nay, or want to make a change. So once we get that dialed in and fixed, I will let you know. So you know, Monday, the Common Council will be going on the salary ordinance and stuff was in there. And so for the people this year, for the workforce, it was a 2.5% raise, and then longevity raises were coming in effect. Basically, quick version is 120 years, I really shouldn't be talking, I'm sorry. $120 a year for 20 years is what it amounts to in this if it gets passed. So it's a longevity raise, which the city has not done yet. So far, it seems like it's gonna go okay. Also, up, I think, for that is, common council, I believe, is Jeff has asked for a line 2 cut, end of the year cut. Cemetery gave back 52,000 in the total. So I think we're okay, because he canceled the meetings to talk to us. He said he was okay with all the reductions to help in the budget going forward. So I want to let you know that. I know I've talked so fast. Please, if you got questions, ask. This time of year, it's really not a lot going on, just a lot of prep work and keeping the cemetery nice and keeping up. Funerals are about normal, actually. We have a couple this week. I think there's 5 on board for next week, so they're coming in. But anyway, you never know on those. But and then the last, Ken, if you want to talk, or I can, a little bit about the walking tour. I just thought these guys need to know, and I think the press knows. Thank you for covering that, by the way. That was an awesome event. Do you have anyone to share?
I think I think you're closer to the number of the people who participated.
I think
The
so.
early number was small on that, but I'm sure it was 400 to 450 people, if not more.
Yeah.
Had nothing but, I didn't have any negative comments. I mean, well, there were technical things, but but the walk itself, everybody really liked it. They wanted to know when we were going to do it again. I think we kept communicating that we're doing it every other year. and not
Currently at
every-
this time.
Yeah, because we didn't want to commit to anything. At that walk, we weren't committing to anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
It can possibly be pushed up, I don't know yet. We have the
Yeah.
meeting after this to decide what we want to
We're gonna
do.
talk about that.
I think the mayor would love it every year, but, I mean, it's a lot of work.
It was a lot of
A
work.
lot of time. The 400, the first count, just so the press understands or whatever, running something new like this, I mean, did I know there'd be problems and issues? Yes. I couldn't even tell you who was there. I mean, I'm trying to put out fires and do stuff, and the lovely reporters want to talk to you, so I wanted to spend time with them. And like, we're just starting with the first 2 or 3 tours. Well, how many? I'm just going, I try to base it off the 2, so that's where the 300 number came first. But after you start looking at pictures and videos and different stuff, and I'm gonna say 450. And that's part of what we'll try to solve in this meeting is maybe have a guest book, something, so we have an idea, so we have a count, I guess, if we need that. Other than that, so the press may know or whatever, I had those QR codes that you could go to the walk. My wife happened to ride with Ken and videotaped every one of them. I just got those uploaded to Stacy, and she's gonna put them on that website, I think, and also where you can go onto YouTube, and so you can watch each actor and actress perform. So they'll be there for the people if they missed it. Speaking of miss, something I didn't prepare for, and we'll talk about tonight. After it was over, we had people asking for a map and the people to go walk it, even though nobody was there. I just never thought of that.
That's a great idea.
But they did. Can we just walk it and see? Yep. And so we printed up the list of the people and the map of the route, and which will be a little bit more prepared next time. But I didn't even think of that, to be quite honest with you.
I think that shows it was very successful, though.
Yeah.
It was
That they
very
wanted to continue,
successful.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Nothing but, I really, seriously, there were technical things that we had to deal with because we just we weren't ready for the rush of people at the beginning.
No,
But it worked out
No, and I
fine.
think I was a little, how do you say, my father always said, don't assume, and I won't tell you what that meant.
Yeah.
But I think I assumed some stuff that was gonna get done instead of having it stone, and that won't happen next time.
Yeah.
And how many people we have, but that's part of the learning curve. I mean, even though it might not have been perfect, nobody knew what perfect was. It was the first one. I mean, but even stumbling, I've had nothing but praises and people calling and stuff like that about how informative it was. I run the cemetery and I learned a lot. I took 2 trips in the golf carts. I mean, 2 tours to help taking ladies around and guys, and I'm like, it was just cool to watch it and listen. I mean,
So in the in the 14 trees, were you able to get an oak tree in
Yeah, I
those?
sure did. I sure
Okay.
did. It's gonna be a 70-footer. She don't look like it now, but there'll be,
Okay.
it's an oak, it's a type of oak.
Because the
yeah.
one thing that came out of the walk is that somebody asked if we could have an oak tree planted at the Boss
Jacob
Circle.
Boss, that was
Yeah.
part of,
Yeah.
that was part of the agreement. It was $2,000 for the acreage he gave, and that he would be buried under his favorite oak tree. And of course, it's been gone for
Yes,
years.
so we're gonna put a new tree there.
Yep, so I picked up one today. She's
I
not
guess in
huge.
one sense, we're gonna call it the anniversary tree, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but,
I wanted
but
to
I
plant
thought that
it
was a
too.
great idea.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't know that part of it, and
No,
I thought, I'll be glad to plant a tree in it, because nobody else is gonna be in there.
No,
Right.
The mashes are all in, I believe. I believe all that side's in.
there's
There might
one,
be one.
there's one tree to the north of the circle, but it's in pretty bad shape, so I think just planting a new one there.
I'm gonna put it in the center front, because that's,
Yeah.
because the other
Yeah.
side is mash. Boss side, I know there's not
I think
gonna be
that's
any more.
great.
Yep, we'll put it in there and hopefully it grows up to be, there's plenty of room, plenty of sun. So if this one doesn't work, I'll get a bigger one and plant in there, but we'll start with this one.
It should be
Yeah,
fine
yeah,
though,
yeah.
so. But I thought that was one good, one idea that came out of it that was really, was a nice touch too.
Yep.
So, other than him and his 6 wives or 5 wives or whatever, that was an interesting story.
5 wives to one twice.
5 wives, 1 twice, it's like, and then they're not sure what happened to her, so.
Well, and-
That was pretty interesting,
And if you,
so.
if you get to dig a little deeper, I mean, there's no proof this, so the reporter, there's no, I mean, it's all hearsay, but they thought he poisoned her.
Yeah.
She was the 4th and the 6th, and must have left it or something, because they think that's how he went.
Oh.
Because he died, because the whole stipulation was when he gave that, he had to be the first one buried there, under his
Yeah.
oak tree. So they couldn't move the cemetery there until he was buried, and he died 3 months later of something. So, maybe there,
He
maybe,
definitely wanted to be,
maybe there was a 7th wife that
he
wasn't.
definitely
with
wanted to be the first one in the cemetery.
So the history, and I thought it was kind of cool, how the ladies kind of put it together. I'm assuming is how you had Homer, Asher, you know, how that all worked. And
was-
then
yeah.
me, I had always heard of Popcorn Annie and didn't know that story.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's speaking. It was Hanselman, yeah. You know, the husband was the mayor and stuff, so.
There were some really interesting stories, so.
That was a fun, yeah, fun,
It really
fun
was.
presentation.
Yeah, but I kind of want to end on that note. Like I say, it's not that we don't have a lot going on, it's just normal stuff and
right.
whatever, not a lot to report as far as that goes. Like I say, there will be some changes. I'm doing, not that I'm going anywhere, but a little change in some of the leadership and how I do things first of the year that we're working on. I'm working with Denny, but I will talk about that a little later on. It's all for good. It's just, biggest problem I have in that cemetery is communication, and I can't be everywhere at once. And we've done it great for 17 years, but I'm gonna try to make it a little better, is what I'm gonna try to do, and do some stuff a little different. But like I say, we got full staff, so we're okay. And hopefully all our part-time will come back next year.
Good.
I hope. So I am good unless there's questions for me.
Where was the website where everybody could see the,
It's on the city, it'll be on the city website.
okay, so
Yeah, under Oakwood. Currently, right now, I believe the QR code I created, Stacy had it hidden, where you had to use that QR code, but we're gonna open it up, and I don't know all the details. I'll try to get that to you when it happens, because she said, can I put it on YouTube? And I said, yeah, I don't think there's any thing we have to sign the actors off or whatever, and they're actually wanting to see them, so.
Yeah,
so there's no date of when that's,
She was hoping as early as tomorrow or into next week.
okay.
That she could, because like I say, it took me a while to get them off my phone onto the computer and the drive, because they were pretty big. But she has them all now, so she's gonna try to work it in her schedule the next week or so.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
And then we can try to put something out there on the website or something, and, but again, I wanna thank you and all the press. I talked to a lady that I've not talked to before, but how gracious you guys all were covering that for us and coming, and I think it was really good. Anything else for the good of the cause? We did go over financial, but, I mean, it's pretty black and white. I mean,
Yeah, it looks
I
good.
guess before you close, we're on pace. I mean, actually, we're above pace because of the big purchase of land.
yeah.
We are going to have the Veterans Day ceremony at the Oakwood Chapel. We're still working on how to incorporate the bell into that and use the bell, so
Which we can open the garage and.
I think we're gonna just try it that way and see what happens.
Oh, I would, you'll be able,
Yeah.
you'll be able to hear it, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So we're gonna try to incorporate that too, so, and once we get closer, we'll get the information on when the ceremony actually is, but, yeah, I just think I went home for a little while to Iowa, and I'm telling you, I stopped at a couple cemeteries to see family members, and I'm telling you, we are very fortunate here, we're very blessed, so.
Yeah, and that's one with this raise, I mean, people panic, 2021 was the last time we had an increase.
Yeah,
I believe was the last ordinance, so, I don't want to give out numbers, it'll sound like so much. The big thing and the thing is we do what we call disinterments and reinterments, okay? So family members will move, okay? It's not something I enjoy to do, but something we do. And I had that so underpriced, amount of work that it took us to do. I started evaluating, and I didn't really evaluate in the past, the two that I raised the budget on. I'm like, I'm not trying to deter it, but it takes a lot of work to bring them up and to be careful and cautious and all that stuff. And so that, you'll see a big jump there, so. But,
we're gonna have to stay conscious of that for the future, that's for sure.
Well,
But, you know.
and also, I gotta be a good steward of the cemetery. I mean, if you look at a business sense of Oakwood Cemetery, it should be closed. I don't make my budget, not even close. So I tried to offset for the tax purposes, keep it up, and it's something the city wants as a perk. But, you just gotta be a good steward in what you do, and I'm always trying to cut and do not, and, make sure the equipment's right. And so it's time. If you go I can't go to surrounding areas because they're little and, but you go to the big ones and then they're private and, you look like you're not charging near enough. And, which is nice when I get out of town, funeral homes and stuff, they're like, really, this is it? And they go, and it looks like this, which that's compliments to us.
Right.
So it's time for the mayor to look it over. He may shoot it down, don't know yet. But it's just in his hands, and I'm gonna push him a little bit, yea or nay, because I'd like to get it done, and so it affects first year. We can do it just to make everything easy for everybody. But that's all I got.
Anything else?
Nothing else.
No.
You all good?
Next meeting is November
The
7th.
Ooh,
Is that after the
I
election?
I don't know if I wanna be there.
Is that after the
Yeah,
election? Yes. Yeah, because election is November 5th, right? So it's after the election. so
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kennedy was put in on the 8th, but he did his oath of office on the
That's true,
8th.
yeah.
Because that's when I was born, November 8th.
All right. Being no further business, we're adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. I know it was kind of short.
That's fine.
Could
Nothing else.
we,